This video is brought to you by the Economic Partnership Agreement Related Trade and Private Sector Support (EPA TAPSS), a 4-year program under the Ministry of Tourism, Trade and Industry. EPA TAPSS is a €5 million program funded by the European Union under the 10th European Development Fund. It aims at bolstering the capacity of the ministry to spearhead the development of Uganda's trade sector in an enabling environment and increasing the ability of Uganda's products to conform to international quality standards as per the national trade policy. The program is slated to end in 2013.
Uganda enjoys a unique location at the heart of the sub-Saharan Africa within East African region. She offers an exceptional opportunity for business in the heart of Africa and is already the preferred home of several leading global corporations and international organizations. It is endowed with significant natural resources, including ample fertile land, regional rainfall, and mineral deposits. Since 1986, the Uganda government under President Yoweri Museveni has taken important steps towards economic rehabilitation from the decline caused by the political instability of the 1970s. At an annual growth rate of 6%, Uganda is one of the fastest and most liberal growing economies for foreign investment in Africa. This is due to favorable investment incentives by the government.
We have capital allowances on plant and machinery of up to 75%. So one can depreciate and reduce their liability for corporation tax by up to 75% in the first year. And this is carried over. We also have, again, on the buildings, incentives of a 20% initial allowance and then accelerated depreciation. On commercial buildings, hotels and education institutions, we register companies as investment traders, and through that they benefit from VAT allowances. They do not have to pay VAT on the inputs into their company. So this is a huge saving of up to 18%. Our studies have shown that the financial sector is the most profitable, and truly you can see that by the number of banks that are actually now registering and beginning to work in Uganda, which is growing very, very fast. The other sector right now with the food crisis in the world is agro-processing and agriculture. We are attracting a number of investors into value addition. Traditionally, we have exported commodities, and we are seeing that change. The ICT is another sector, information communication technology, where the mobile phones opened up. We have connectivity countrywide. We also are beginning to have internet countrywide. So it has opened up so many other sectors, the entertainment industry, the film industry, the music industry. We are seeing software production. We are seeing call centers and data processing centers as big opportunities right now. And we stand to have an advantage as Uganda because of our very highly educated workforce in all these sectors. But we have over 60 universities in Uganda working right now on top of the other technical colleges. So the human resources available.
In the regional perspective, there are immense opportunities within the tripartite free trade area. This covers the Common Market for East and Southern Africa, COMESA, the East African Community EAC, and the South African Development Community SADC. This area is about half of Africa's population and 4 times the population of the East African Community alone. Uganda boasts of a wide export base. COMESA has been the country's main export destination, with the European Union coming second. In 2007, these two contributed to about 40% and 25% of the total export volume, respectively. This growth has been made possible by national export incentives, both internal and those negotiated by government.
With respect to the internal provisions, you know very well exports are not taxed, so there are no taxes on exports, whatever you want to deal in for export purposes. Two, if you have to pay any duties related to items you import for purposes of investing for export, you are still entitled to a duty drawback. So that is another incentive scheme that is available. When it comes to those manufacturing exports that are value added, you have 10-year tax holiday for anything that you might be paying in form of taxes. I think that's another huge incentive for those who are adding value to what this country exports. Again, also internally, you're not obliged to get different licenses to be able to export. If you do it, that is only if the country to which you're going to export your products so requires it. But otherwise, you're free to start any business without any encumbrances as far as it's meant for export purposes. Again, when it comes to entitlements in terms of foreign exchange earnings, all those investors in the country producing for export are entitled to 100% remittance of whatever they earn as proceeds from their exports. So there are no restrictions whatsoever.
The agriculture sector employs about 85% of Uganda's labor force and accounts for about 24% of GDP. It also provides most of the raw materials to the mostly agro-based industries. Most of Uganda's farmers operate on subsistence level. As a result, the government, through the Plan for Modernization of Agriculture, supports this national backbone in many ways. This is aimed at transforming them into commercial farmers with products that can compete favorably in export markets.
One of the key priority areas under the Plan for Modernization of Agriculture, for which huge public investment and resources has been directed, is research and technology development. The objective being to provide with farmers with improved planting and stocking materials so that their productivity can be enhanced. And therefore government, under this Plan for Modernization of Agriculture, has a program called NADS, basically for giving extension and quality advice and planting materials to our small-scale farmers. Agro-processing and value addition was identified as one of the key constraints to the agricultural sector. And since then, government has invested substantially in that area and is continuing to make strides towards improving the post-harvest management of the crops, livestock and fish products that our farmers produce. Another key area under the plan for modernization of agriculture was rural finance. Agriculture has got unique characteristics whereby the banking sector and microfinance institutions in particular are not interested to lending to the agricultural sector. And therefore government and other key stakeholders have designed what they call the microfinance outreach program.
Through the National Development Plan, the government sets objectives, strategies and interventions. These are aimed at ensuring that any supply-side constraints are addressed for the business community to take advantage of the available trade opportunities. By focusing on removing the constraints, the plan will enable the country's products to have easy access to regional and international markets.
The larger part of the plan concentrates on strategies to remove the constraints. Now, for trade specifically, we concentrated on constraints with physical infrastructure, energy, and transport, namely the roads, the water transport on Lake Victoria, and the rail. So the plan focuses on increasing the quality of infrastructure, physical infrastructure, to enable the trade to succeed and expand. But there are other infrastructure that is required especially for trade. For example, the cold room facility at the airport is to be expanded to be able to take in more exports. There are others where we need to increase the awareness of traders. The trade information system, to be able to access market information. In the plan, we are provided for improving the human resource skills. There is also a program to help the startup of new businesses, especially small businesses, start up and also to sustain the small businesses.
Uganda so far has the best environment for enhanced trade opportunities. With improved trade infrastructure, investment and export incentives, and an expanded regional market, business opportunities can be profitably tapped.